This is my mom, Janet.
Hello.
How old are you, Mom?
74.
74. Do you remember the name of the patch that you're going to start to wear?
I think the X39.
That's right, x39. But you haven't worn it at all yet.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to use this video.
Yikes.
It'll be fine. Okay.
I don't know how to answer all the questions. I looked at the thing.
Oh, you don't have to overthink it. I'm going to ask you a few questions. We're doing this, so this is the before you ever start wearing the patch. Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to have you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm filling out this health.
Right.
You don't have to fill anything out. Okay.
Okay, I'll see the results. Okay.
Yeah. Like I don't want you to actually have the numbers. Okay. So we're going to see how this goes over the course of time. So we'll do it today, and then we'll do it in 24 hours, in a week, 2 weeks, we'll keep doing these to see how or if the X39 patch helps my mom. So to start, you're going to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. And for this first section, a higher number is better with these symptoms, meaning like 10 is excellent. So for example, the first one says quality of sleep. 10 would be my sleep is amazing.
But my quality isn't real good right now. I could say like 2 or 3.
Correct. That's the scale. Okay. First is quality of sleep.
Okay, I think I'll say 3.
Okay. Mental clarity.
Okay, I think that's pretty good, don't you?
You can, this is your personal like evaluation. You can say whatever you want.
Well, I think it's good. I'll say, well, maybe I better not give me a high point. I'll say 8.
So I would encourage you to be honest, right? That's the whole point of doing
clarity. Like I remember everything, or I'm with it during the day.
Well, or like mental clarity would, think about people who struggle with ADHD. Focusing is hard, or mom brain, short-term memory loss, long-term memory. You get into all of that. Okay. That all comes with like mental clarity.
Right. So I think I'm pretty good at that.
I mean, I think you are too, but you have to give yourself the rating first.
I'll say 8.
Okay. Energy and vitality.
Yeah. That one's hard to know because it varies from day to day. I'll say 6.
Okay. There's no right or wrong.
Maybe I should say 5.
Okay.
Well, if you already wrote down 6, that's okay.
Okay. We'll keep it at 6. All right. Stamina.
So how much energy I have to keep doing something.
What's the definition of stamina? Ability to sustain prolonged physical or mental effort.
Mental would be longer than physical. I'm going to say 5.
Okay. I think I don't know. I think of stamina, you think of that quickly with like an exercise or something like, right? Like your ability to continue.
Yeah. Like if I'm on my treadmill, I can do it better. But if I'm just walking somewhere, it's less, it seems like.
Okay. How often do you walk on your treadmill right now?
Well, right now I haven't been very consistent, but I used to do it at least 5 times a week.
Okay. What do you think you're doing it right now?
None.
Okay. Well, this is honest hour. Okay.
Well, I've been gone for one thing.
I know. I'm not doing this to judge you. Like,
I know.
Okay.
I'll have to get back. Yeah, I don't know if my stamina is very good.
Okay.
Like when I walked with Suzanne and Sean last week, I didn't, but I was having some pain in my hip, so it made it harder.
Okay. Which hip?
My right hip.
Just with walking?
Yeah, and we don't know if it was because I'd been on the airplane the day before but I didn't walk all the way out to the tulips with him because it hurt.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. We'll talk about pain here in a little bit more. Okay. So the next one on a scale of 1 to 10 is recovery time from exercise. So meaning 10 would be, I just pop back. 1 being, it takes me days to recover from doing something.
Well, it doesn't take me days, but I probably don't push it that hard.
Well, you got to exercise to know how quickly you recover from it too.
Maybe we better just stick with like 5.
Okay. Muscle strength and tone.
I don't know. I don't have great muscle. Maybe I'll say a 4.
Okay. Mobility.
Well, I get around normally pretty good, but like I said last week, I didn't when it was hurting on my hip.
Okay.
I don't know. Should I say 5?
I can't tell you what to say. This is yours. That's why you're answering the questions.
Well, the lower I go, then it'll show improvement, hopefully.
You can't cheat the system.
I'll just say 5, I guess, would be sort of average, right?
Think about mobility can increase or decrease based off of what we do.
I couldn't keep up with you if we were walking, I'm sure.
But that would be stamina.
Okay.
Mobility is more like when I'm turning, when I'm able to bend and reach for things. Mobility is like how well your body moves. Can you
Well, I'm going to say 5 again.
Okay. Skin appearance. Are you happy with how your skin looks?
Well, obviously I'm getting older, so there's more wrinkles and everything, but I'll say 7.
Okay. Feelings of well-being.
Mm, 6.
And then there's an other, which I don't really know what that would be. So we'll just skip the other. Because I don't know. I mean, I guess if there was something, okay, so I guess I do maybe know. Like, is there something that you would be like, wow, this is going on in my life. I would really like the patch to help with it.
Well, I guess, but that's what we've already answered, like the sleep.
Right. Well, so I'm gonna,
then,
this is you being me making you be a little bit vulnerable. So for example, the weakness or the tremor shake of your hands at times. So like if you were to rate, that will be in the other section when the lower number is better. Okay. So we'll
sometimes that
but it would be things like that. Like if I was using the patch.
Okay, we could say that. I guess we could say like a 3 or 4. It's not something I notice all the time, but sometimes.
Okay, hold on. We'll come back to that. We'll loop back to that when the lower number is better, because that's what we're moving into right now. So for this section 2, a lower number is better with these symptoms, meaning 1 is excellent and 10 would be awful. So the first one is pain.
That was pretty bad last week. Like I didn't feel like I could walk a long distance.
Okay.
So let's say a 9 maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't like in a wheelchair.
No, but it kept you from going to do something that you would have gone and done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I don't know, should that be a 10?
No.
Probably 9's okay, because I still walked a ways.
I mean, to me, 10 is not going to the doctor.
Okay.
You know, like it's bad, right?
Right. Okay, so we won't say that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being excellent, inflammation.
Yeah, and that I don't know how to judge. Maybe say a 5.
Okay. Headaches.
Yeah, I very seldom have headaches, so I almost think I say 1 on that. Or,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
That's the point. Okay, the next would be mood swings.
And I don't feel like I have a lot of mood swings either. Maybe you think I do.
I think the biggest thing I would say is sometimes I can tell like my mood, like how much you feel, not that it's out of control, but you can tell, wow, I'm way more emotional today, or like I'm more up or down. Swing of it, right?
I'll say a 3.
Okay.
But well, I'm sure it's not perfect.
I'm going to let you answer and then I'm happy to weigh in, but I don't think that you personally in hanging out with you, I don't really feel like you're like, woo, all apart. You're through menopause. So it's one of those things, say this was years back, you may have then felt like at times like, wow, like I can tell like hormonally I'm more up. Fine lines and wrinkles. So 1 would be excellent and 10 would be not that great.
Well, hopefully what I've been doing is helping some. Let's see, what should I say for that? Because obviously it could be better. Maybe I'll say a 6.
Okay. Age spots.
Yeah, and I was trying to think about that. I saw that on the list. I don't really feel like I have too many age spots.
So you did see the list before.
Well, I did look at that when you sent it to me.
Okay. Okay.
Because that was one that stood out. I meant to look in the mirror and see.
Okay.
Maybe a 3.
Okay. Any scars?
Yeah, I have scars from my surgeries that are fairly significant.
Okay.
So, I mean, they've stayed the same for a long time, but
yeah,
maybe an 8.
Okay. Next one we're going to say is hand tremor, not the weakness. Okay. Which hand is it, or is it both?
Well, I think sometimes it's both, but most of the time
one worse than the other?
No, because I don't pay that much attention to it. It's not like something but I suppose it'd be my right. When I lift more things with my right hand.
But we're not talking about strength yet. We're just talking about this. So bilateral.
Well, like if I'm just standing here, they aren't just tremoring.
No, I know. It's more if you hold something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like with the phone, right? Like you're a good sport, because I have things on this list that I wouldn't rate as excellent. 1 would be excellent, no tremor. 10 would be
like shaking
like awful. Yeah, like if you were at rest. So what would you rate that your hands at?
Maybe a 6 or a 7 then.
Okay. And what about the weakness in your hands? 10 would be it's awful. 1 would be it's not, like no weakness.
Right. Well, we could say 5.
Okay. So
this patch is going to make my hands stronger?
I don't know. It might. So the patch does help with like neurological things.
It will be interesting to see
if it's related to nerve issues going on.
Yeah.
And it could potentially help. Part of the thing with the patch that's fun with doing this is you don't know exactly
what's going to happen.
Right. I've been having a lot of relief of pain with my right knee.
Right.
I didn't go into it realizing it was going to help that. the arthritic type of pain because of the knee surgeries, all the workouts I do, if the weather goes bad, like there's times where it's like I can just tell that my knee would hurt more, and that's reduced a lot, but I didn't realize going into it that it was going to do that. For anybody watching, we're going to keep doing this, and we'll keep doing this. So the next one we got to do in a day, and then we'll do it a week, 2 weeks, and so on.
So when am I putting this patch on?
Start tomorrow morning if you want, and then we can do a video on Sunday after you've worn it a day.
Oh,
perfect.